choice. It was life circumstances and situations that take place on a day-to-day, and there's just millions of people that are today living like that. However, we just kept our heads up. I stayed focused, and I went with my dream, continuing to help homeless and feed them. And even though I was being out now, like people tell me, no, leave them alone, don't do it. I just kept rocking and rolling and just staying out the industry until we got ourselves a bag in the house.
That's a blessing. And if I would say, your mom is very, very beautiful. Very beautiful. So I know that has to be a major accomplishment.
Oh my God, yes. You don't know. I can't even tell you the stories. I know I haven't lived the way Cedric and his family lived over 15 years. Lived 15 years homeless with his family, with mom, dad, and 5 children. He's the eldest, 19, out of the 5 that are now in foster care. Their mom passed away last January. And this 6-7 house right here, I worked and partnered with a lot of homeowners that were going through trials and tribulations and stuff. So this house actually was under foreclosure. And by the owner, who was my cousin, because I went to a family member after I found out that I had family that was going through the same thing. I came to him with my dream and on what I was working with and helping developmental children, and I was going to do my child care, and I asked if we can help save his house, and we will put us off the street.
Okay.
So he said, let's see what happens.
Okay.
And we've been here since November. Prior to that, we were in an extended stay. And prior to the extended stay, we were in our station wagon, which we no longer have, and we're out of a vehicle now.
Okay.
And
but you do have a home.
So we do have a home.
Right.
But I always said, if I had to do it again, I would want to be able so I can be in my own spot. Because when you're on the street, you get picked up for earning camp and all sorts of things. That it's just horrible because you don't want to be in that.
Right.
And it's like, you know, they don't care. When I say they, it's just the community, the officers, the law, they don't care.
Okay. As far as your situation with you being without a home, how long were you in that situation before you were able to actually pick things up?
I was in that situation for about almost 2 years. 2 years myself. I ended up in the situation, and how I got there was Cedric was homeless, as I mentioned, like 10 times. And I asked his mom, can I put him in school, high school? He wasn't in school. And upon that, I brought him into my home. I was in an apartment over in Swanee, Georgia. And he moved in, my son was there. I had another young man that was homeless that I helped out. And
so you've been on this
I just been on a mission. I was in healthcare for 15 years, and I lost my job with the economy. And I was making $110,000, and I was down to getting $237 a week.
Right.
And I was
married to a lot of people, during the economic change, and you get people that were never in that position, and they look and they say, well, they don't understand how you went from all of this to that. And I tell everybody with a blink of an eye, you can have everything today and wake up tomorrow and it can be gone. And there's really no answer. There's really, no reason why. And in a lot of cases, like your own, this is a bigger blessing because you're able to change person's lives. I know now that's your purpose.
Yes, that is your purpose. Nicholas, who's over there also, he's 29, and he's another young man in the program, pretty much homeless without his biological family. He was in foster care for his entire life, and this is the first time he's in his own individual setting where he has his own room. He has his own place, so he can say, it's mine. and I decorated. And from here, I wanted Nicholas to move forward where he can have his own and make his own decisions and choices. But you have to first understand that you have to accept rules, regulations, and you have to stay focused on your goals and make sure whatever it takes that you meet every target of the goal, because if you slip up or say, I can't do it today, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It's not. And, there's so much right now that we need to keep going, but like you said, we have a roof, and we didn't have that. I'm going to say 6 months.
And if you gave up,
yeah, we didn't have her. And I would not have met all the people that I've met with mental problems due to and behavior problems because they didn't have it. No one cares. No one cares. And I'm saying, you don't know. You may have a distant cousin. This is a distant family member I didn't even know about. And I created flyers and I was going around and it brought my attention to another family member after another gentleman. He said, we'll give you our house. So the door was open. It was open. Right. So, I went with family because I want family to know that you have so many family members out there that, want to do well, but we pass judgment and we make people think that, just because Jane is an alcoholic, she's not, able to, I'm just saying, she's not able to pay the bills. Or she lost her job, you deserve it because look at how you're living. And that's not the case. That's not the case. And, I was living in a room with Cedric and his mother, his father, and 4 other children. We lived in a station wagon. 8 of us in one station wagon. And once that his mom passed and I lost the apartment over in Swanee after being shot in the neck by a BB gun. It was an airsoft BB gun. My son was shooting at Cedric. And it missed Cedric and it hit me. But thank God I'm alive. And thank God he didn't get hurt. He ended up in children's services and my son was arrested. Kid never got in trouble in his life. Didn't know what jail looked like. And, he got out and I got out and, my son was removed from me. And then it was on my choice. They looked at my background. I wasn't a patrol person. I worked 3 jobs. I had everything. And I just said, I give it up. I'll leave everything alone and go to the street if my dream comes to life. And it has not been easy. So, this is the step.
So how was your support team, if any, during these trials and tribulations that you were going through?
I can count on one hand the people that did support me, and one being my sister-in-law, and Teresa Belcher, and I'm going to mention her because she always, she said my door is open, she wanted to donate her house to me to do the service program, and she knew that I was serious about this, that it was no joke, and she knew that I was always a worker. And she was always there, even when I rejected her and said, no, I'm going to do this. And God want me in the street, and this is what I have to go through, If I got to go steal a steak, and that's how I'm going to eat, and that's how I'm going to eat. And that's what I did. That's what I did. My family has money, but they didn't see what I saw. And it was just like every door shut them.
So from that, you said that your family has money. Was there a lot of family members that were frowning on what you were doing and refused to help you?
Absolutely, yes.
Support you?
That's what happened. And the only option that they gave me was to get rid of the homeless. Get rid of them and come home or we'll help you. But if you don't, then you stay out in the street. And I stayed out in the street.
So they just approved your mission and everything that you were doing.
I'm a grown woman. I raised my children, and thank God I got to raise them. Like I said, my youngest just turned 18, and my oldest is 23. But I was in their lives from day one. They were nursing me. Up until 2 years ago, when my oldest son came to the extended thing, he said how I was living, he was like, oh my God. He said, I got to get you out of here. And I'm like, I'm good. I was happy, throughout the day. I'm eating, I'm helping. I got a car. You know, I'm helping a family that really needed help. And then their mom died. I took the parents. Mom and dad went into an adult ministry program, and what happened? I'm like, they went for help. I had legal guardianship through the court of a kid. And when mom died, dad tried to get something out of it. It was just crazy. And it brought us back to court. And we took the kids. And because I was a kid, they ended up in childbirth. And I'm licensed in foster care, I'm licensed in child care. I have my state organization number, tax ID. I'm like, I'm getting everything. They failed me. And I talk to them all the time, but thank God they didn't remove them from that, and they are here. However, I have notarized letters where mom's last dying wishes was for Ms. Rose to take care of her children. I was her caretaker before she died. And those kids like I was your mom. And I just, to this day, don't understand it. So, you know what? You said I didn't have a home. Have a home.
Right. Let's take a minute and introduce Cedric, if you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
It's my ENT. Anyway, I don't know where else to begin, but my life ain't been perfect either, you know what I'm saying? And ever since I was younger, me and my family, my brothers and sisters, my mom and dad, we didn't have like everything. I used to look at kids and be like, man, I wish I had that, or I wish my dad had a good job like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we live in the street, we live from home to home, from family member to family member, you know, and it was rough. Not having lights in the house, not having water in the house, having to, it's cold, it's like 2 degrees outside. You gotta go outside and get a shovel and dig a hole just to use the bathroom, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Going behind Kroger and freaking stealing food out of the dumpster, just hoping that it's good, just hoping that, this is a meal for the night. You know what I mean? I remember we lived in Tuskegee, Alabama. It was like 2005. My granddad had bought a double-wide truck, and my uncle and my dad's brother, Suzuki, he moved in the Charlotte. His family, like, they wouldn't let us come over there. We didn't have no lights in the old, they would call it the home house. You know what I'm saying? Because there were all the families to go to, but the home house, over the years, it started getting decrepit, and it started getting run down. So me and my family were staying there with no lights, no water. And in the wintertime, we had broken kerosene line, man. I'll never forget. It was broken kerosene line. We would steal kerosene from the gas station. We would put it in the kerosene. It was so broken, like it would smoke up the whole room. But we would still smelling like kerosene, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, oh my God, what was that smell like that? I just hold my head down. You know what I'm saying? Basically, we never had like the things that normal kids would have, like toys and video games and stuff.
Tell us how many brothers and sisters?
Was Juwan, Ventorius, Kawan, and Keanu. We got 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. That's a pretty nice family.
Yeah, I wish they were still here though.
How does that make you feel that you guys are separated?
We'll never be separated. Nobody's never separated us. But physically, we're separated. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my sister sometimes. I haven't talked to my brothers. But I was telling you, Rose, I wish somebody at least try, you know what I'm saying, to get them back home with us. Even though they don't want to come, at least just try. If she try to get them back, you know, it'll make me feel so much better. Even if they said, no, I don't want to come, it'll make me feel so much better. Because I know we tried.
Right.
You know, we didn't give up. You feel me? That's all I have to say.
Have they talked about wanting to come back? Or?
I hadn't talked to my brother in like almost a year. I don't know what
They won't let him talk to me. He always says and it should not be. This kid didn't abuse him. He took care of them kids. The system, they didn't want to hear the timeline or read it to see what happened here. He was the one feeding them and keeping them mom and dad was doing whatever they were doing before his mom passed. And now you say that he can't even see his brother. They love him.
Right.
And if you see how their face glow, light up when when we see them at therapy, they go to therapy, they go to same sex.
That's sad because,
they're hiding.
They should want to, try to reunite them and try to keep the family together as close, as possible because they are siblings.
Yeah. And I mean, I have
that is positive therapy.
Exactly, especially for Cedric. He's battling multiple behaviors and mental issues. But he just because he has them, that doesn't mean he's not capable of taking care of his siblings. He has help. It's not like he didn't have help. And I go back again. We were in the extended stay. We had to cremate his mom. Every dime that I worked for and I saved while we were in here to put these kids and this family into a house, I had to put back into their mom's memorial and get her taken care of. And we had a meeting, a family meeting, and the kids said, Ms. Rose takes upon you to take care of mom. It wasn't my decision, but the courts didn't want to hear that. Well, again, I'm going to stress again. Here we go. All right, we have a house. We have food. And I told them I was 1 month away from getting that in. He's back again. They're looking for strangers to take care of these kids that don't even know them, and they got a 19-year-old brother right here.
How long have the kids been?
This May is going to be a year.
Okay.
They removed them from my custody almost a year ago.
Okay. And was that directly after mom's death?
It was after mom's death, and it was horrible because dad didn't get his way with me. Meaning, you want to drink beer, you want to smoke weed, do that.
Right.
We're homeless. I'm not allowing it.
Right.
I went to school. You said you went to school. That don't make me better than you. But guess what? Now I'm living like you because I chose to help.
Right.
And in order for me to help, I had to go to the street. And I worked my butt off, and I communicated. I'm a communicator. And I talked to people to put that into a home. Because I exhausted every dime from May up until January of this year. I lost about $10,000. And just deposits, putting on houses in places. This African dude gave me the first place. I gave him the deposit. He stole my money and left. I was like, okay. Then I went into another house. When we went in the house, the stove blew up. It was a 5-bedroom house. And that was
so how did you feel after, okay, I've come so far, and now I'm knocked down again?
I meditated.
Immediately knocked down.
Dinah, I meditated. I just prayed, and I said, that's the devil. And he ain't going to get the best of me. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to keep my head up. And I promised Trina, Yvette Barnes here, their mother, that I would take care of him. And I had her kids. And I closed those kids. I got them in school. They were educated. They were doing good in school. There was a lot going on. You don't penalize the people that put 100% into something. And then you have psychiatrists, therapists, and case managers behind you. Went to court with me and said Ms. Rose did everything. Everything. She got papers. She's certified at law for it. And they still took them from me. And I just went 2 weeks ago. I talked to Kiana, his sister, and she baby girl want to come home. And I went back upstairs. I was going to give up, and I went to church last week on Easter, and the pastor, Pastor Michael, said, don't give up. It's not over until God says it's over. And I just felt like I quit, and I gave up. And here came down, and I said, you know what? I know what I need to do. And I came back, and I typed up the letter to defect, and I gave it. I emailed it to the supervisor and the caseworker. They moved a little from Taiwan with the brothers. Thank God. But I know Miss Michelle, their foster mom, great person, her husband and her, so I didn't have a problem with that. And I was so happy that they at least they to move, and that just came from me delivering it. So now they're trying to move fast again to move them, but they have family. They have me. They know those kids said nothing bad about me. They tried, they dug everything, and they couldn't get nothing on me. And at the end of the court county, Gwinnett County, Gwinnett County.
Okay, what we're going to do now is take a short break.